Yeah. How do we profit off of this, right?
Yeah. Buy real estate.
Yeah.
And
Just find out where they're moving. We just said it. Texas, Florida, Tennessee.
so what we're seeing in Canada, we're just ahead of the curve now here.
Yeah.
So the US with the Biden administration is f***ing up over there too. With
Get ready.
With their immigration
ready.
policies, with their restrictive government red tape, all that shit. Which
The Green New Deal.
Yep, the Green New Deal.
People understand. You need to understand when you. I talked to my brother about this the other day. I'm like, oh, this government, they're going to tax everybody. He says, no, there's not. Their platform doesn't talk about taxation. I'm like, they're going to tax you in other ways.
Yeah.
The Green New Deal is a huge tax because when you go to build something, you have to comply with these new green legislation rules. It's going to cost the builders more money, and then it's going to cost you more money.
Yeah.
When you go to fill up at the pump, it's going to cost you more money because of the carbon tax. They're taxing you indirectly. Their platform talks about no increases of taxes, but they're doing it in subversive ways.
What they're talking about is no actual increases, like literally,
Direct.
like to your income.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. You're getting f***ed left, right, and center from different ways.
Income tax.
Yeah.
HST, everything you buy is taxed. When you die, you're
Capital
taxed.
gains.
Capital gains tax.
Yeah.
Everything
Estate
that
tax.
you do is taxed. You're left, generally speaking, especially the middle class, you're left with very little money at the end of the year for your disposable income. And you work the most.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a backwards system.
They also have a massive short supply of homes. There was some sort of metric that came out, like it was just even like a couple months ago. Like maybe even like 3-4 months ago or whatever, when we started this podcast, where it was like,
the US?
Where there was like 2 million or 1.9 million homes, like a shortage of 1.9 million homes. Now they're almost at 4 million. So it's doubled within like a couple months.
Yeah.
And that is a proponent of exactly what we're seeing in Canada.
Yeah.
It's so we're already socially, like we're far ahead of the US. We're far ahead, but they're slowly creeping.
Oh, big time. Big time.
They're slowly
I think the
creeping.
scale just tilted. They're a 51% socialist now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And 49.
Yeah. So
and we're about, I don't know, 90, 10.
100. So we're not quite Venezuela yet, but we're on our fucking way.
Seriously.
So what we're seeing in the US is exactly what's happened in Canada.
Yeah.
So what's the play there? I don't know. Get in before before it actually starts coming down the pipe. Like even in these in these Republican states, like at the end of the day, it's like all the big cities are blue and liberal and democratic. It's typically like outside of like the bigger cities. And even we've seen, we always talk about Texas, but the fact of the matter is Texas, they only lost, the Democrats only lost the Texas vote by 5%.
Really? Yeah.
So like they're on their way.
Yeah. And a lot of people are moving from Democratic states.
Exactly.
The scales are going to tilt.
The scales are tilting here.
And our point here is that, you can make a lot of money with socialist policies. In fact, like we said, you
probably
can make
more.
You
to
can
be
make
quite
more.
honest, you could probably make more.
And what's happened in the US, right? There was the 08-09 crash, which is, again, very different than what's happening now in Canada. It was not based on fundamentals of supply and demand. They were lending money to people they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
They just recently recovered from that. They built way too much supply. Builders were going nuts at the time. And then a crash came, and then it took a long time for all those extra homes to get absorbed. It took a decade.
Yeah.
Now they've all been absorbed. Yeah. Now they're short, right? Yeah. Now it's like we got to build to keep up. Mm-hmm. Now here's the problem. Then COVID hits, and then construction comes to a halt, and then the red tape comes in, and then Biden administration, they start opening the immigration floodgates. Trump shut it down. Yeah. They're going to open it up. They've talked about it. They've already opened it up. They're going to increase red tape. They're going to increase taxation. Mm-hmm. They're going to increase the Green New Deal, or whatever they talk about, is a subversive measure of tax that's going to make everything more difficult to build. The same thing is already happening there. And it's, what's played out over a decade in Ontario specifically and all across Canada, we're at the early innings in the US. Yeah. So where it's, we're at the later innings in Canada, early innings in the US, like especially in those states.
Oh, yeah.
That are taking advantage of the shift right now.
Yeah, and here's a key point. Like, it's already happened in California, New York. Why do you think their prices are so high? It's not just because they have all kinds of people there.
Heavy taxation.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavy red tape.
Democratic.
Like limitations on everything.
Yeah.
That's the key, and that's going to filter through.
Yeah.
all of the US
I shouldn't say it's necessarily not because of they don't have a lot of population there. Of course, that's competition will drive up prices, but not to the extreme that you've seen in like Manhattan, fucking LA, that shit.
Florida is one of the most populous states in the US.
20, right? What is it? 20
something million.
Yeah, 20 something million.
More than 50% of the population of Canada.
Exactly.
Yet the same problem didn't occur. Yeah. Right? Like why? Why is that? Now California is California. I'm not going to knock like it's an amazing coastal state. Whatever. I'm not going to say there's no fundamental reasons, but if you come
Dave's over there f***ing like this.
But you're
over here now, Dave. Fuck off.
California. But I mean Florida has similar, they're on the coast as well and whatever else. So very, very interesting. Now, how do we profit off of this, right?
Yeah. Buy real estate and you understand the trend, right?
Now, what's the trend? We're like, I started a new group. If you want to join it, basically, Canadians
we'll link it.
In the US real estate.
Dave, what do we do? Link it in the description. We'll put it in the description below.
Yeah. I didn't even know this was going on. Like I knew generally, right? We see it, we hear it. We see blips in the news. Oh, Tesla moved to Texas, right? Yeah. I see the odd blip, but then I started digging in more deeply. And it's like, holy crap. Every day there's a new company moving from California to Texas or Miami or Florida or from New York. The banks are moving. And I'm like, holy crap, Nashville, Tennessee, they're all migrating. They're getting out of these heavy taxation states, which entrepreneurs always will. They will just move. When it makes sense, they'll set up shop somewhere else. They'll take advantage of the tax system there and whatever else. It is happening like at a pace that I can't even believe. So you combine that, right? If they're you just find out where they're moving. We just said it: Texas, Florida, Tennessee. Are there some other ones?
Like almost
those are the big ones.
Yeah, the big
Nevada.
Nevada. Yeah. Tennessee. Where else? I'm starting to see a lot actually in Michigan. Like the less democratic. So like the very, very like heavy blue states. People are leaving in droves.
People and businesses.
Yeah, and businesses, yeah.
So they're leaving. Where are they going? Find out where they're going, right? This is the blueprint. This isn't rocket science. Find out where they're going. We just told you where the businesses and the people are going. Yeah. Then find out where there's a shortage of supply, right? Like zoom into a couple different cities and then you can do a little bit of research there. And then
Alabama.
Then start buying real estate.
Yeah. They're not locking people down. Like it's a good way of life. Yeah. Like now, in a world that's right now.
Yeah. Now let me tell you this: if I owned a business in the US, let's say your Canadian protein is US protein, and you're in some whatever state, California or something, and all this stuff is going. You're a free thinker, and you don't want to be locked down. You don't think they should increase your taxes on people that are wealthy. You don't think they should have $1 million tax because that's what California is pushing to tax millionaires right now. What are you going to do? You're locked down. They keep increasing your taxes. They keep increasing red tape. What are you as a business owner going to do?
Oh, I'm out of there.
You're out.
Oh, 100%.
So quick.
Oh, yeah.
So quick. And you're going where?
I'll make my money back in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So like people argue like, okay, well, now you got to like restart. Well, if I stay, I might as well just set up shop somewhere else where it'll pay itself off in 2-3 years.
It's just another investment. Yeah,
exactly.
And possibly a higher quality of living.
100%.
Because you're not like, I don't want to be locked down anymore. 100%. I don't want a government that restricts my freedom. And that's, man, I don't know. I've been hearing about U-Hauls lined up down, major highways of California heading to Texas.
Is that
like
right?
U-Hauls of people. Because they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. Like now, not everybody's going to leave, right? Yeah. Like I'd still invest in Cali. I'd still invest in New York. I'd still invest in Michigan or whatever blue state. I don't even know. But I do want to take advantage of this trend while it's happening until the numbers don't make sense anymore. Yeah. And then, just pivot from there. So
Trigger.